Gathering is a trading card game that was first released in the late 1900s, about 1995 or 96. Um, it is a trading card game where each person starts at least 20 life, and you have a deck of at least 60 cards depending on the format. The format that I'm playing in today is Brawl, which is sort of like Commander, where you have 100 cards per deck, and every card must be unique, except for your land. So I have 40 basic islands in my deck. If I had another interesting card in my deck, I can only have a max of one of them. As you can see, I have 7 cards in my starting hand, and I have a card outside of my hand, sort of in what's known as exile, but it's called the command zone, which is where my commander sits. And when I want to cast him, I would cast him from that command zone into the board. And if he dies, he goes back into the command zone, and I've had to pay a higher price to get him out. So today I wanted to talk about the ban list. Now, Magic the Gathering, just Wizards of the Coast, the developers of Magic the Gathering, the ones who actually made the game, they release ban lists pretty frequently. I'd say probably 2, 3, 4 times a year. Kind of depends on what they see as far as what cards are being used, which ones feel pretty overpowered. Like in this previous ban list, they banned Blood Moon, which makes every non-basic into be a mountain. So if your opponent plays a lot of non-basics, your opponent just can't play the game, so they banned it. And so the ban list kind of serves to even out the playing field for people. For like the new players that play a lot of, they don't want the new players to struggle when playing the game. So like they don't want them to get combo killed by like Channel Fireball, where you can pay your life force to kill your opponent just on the spot. Now, I'm a big fan of this, don't get me wrong. I like when they do the ban lists, because it just keeps the game fresh, keeps the game kind of moving in a direction that is controllable. The devs really know what they're doing when they do the ban lists. One thing I would like to see, however, especially because in real life you can play with the cards that are banned as long as it's not a community sanctioned event. So like as long as it's not the Pro Tour, or as long as it's not like a qualifier, or at your local MTG trade card shop like Kapow. Some of those events would not let you use the cards. But apart from that, like if you're playing with your friends, you can use any card you want. And I would kind of like to see something like that here on this app. It's called MTG Arena, which is the online version of Magic that was released in 2018. I would like to see them. I would like to see them add a mode like what you can do with friends. It'll be unranked, obviously, but I would just like to see them add a mode like that for the people that want to play with banned cards, like myself. I want to build combo decks. I want to build decks that can just go off infinite. In Magic Arena, you can't really go infinite because of the timer, which it'll show soon. But I would just like to be able to play with the cards that are banned in a deck. I know they came out with a limited time event probably 2 years ago. It was on for like a week, and you could play with any card in Magic's history. I played during that event. It was really fun. I wish they. I really wish they would bring something like that back. I think it would do good for the community. Obviously, having it be unranked, no one would really care about winning or losing. They really just want to play with all the cards in Magic's history. But also, a lot of people have spent money on these cards. Especially in game, people spend tons of money on this game online. And allowing them a place to play these cards, apart from just like a practice round against a bot or against friends, it would allow... They would actually probably make a lot more money that way, allowing people to play with the cards, because, you know, the cards are in packs. You gotta buy packs with real money. So if you put some of these cards in specific packs, then people will be more inclined to open these packs so they can play with the cards. So as far as up to this point in the game, I'm really feeling good. I just get my commander out now. My deck is really built around my Teferi and drawing cards. He has a static ability as it shows on screen now. Whenever I draw a card, he gains loyalty. So I have a bunch of draw card effects. The One Ring, which is the artifact on the bottom right, it draws me cards. Drawback is that it drains my life total for every card I draw. The middle creature to the left of the one that's attacking, it has an ability where if you have exactly 13 cards when you untap in your hand on your turn, you just instantly win the game. So it has a static ability of you have no maximum hand size, because the max hand size is usually 7. And it also has an ability to where you can pay 4 mana and draw a card. So you just churn through until you get 13 cards in your hand. And then you pass to your opponent's turn. They can't get you to play any spells or discard anything. You just win the game the next turn. So I just completely make my opponent whiff a Titanic Growth that would have killed my creature. And then I have the Ivory Tower right next to the One Ring, which says that at the beginning of my upkeep, I gain life equal to the amount of cards I have in my hand -4. Which goes really well with the One Ring, because I draw a bunch of cards, it drains me, and then the Ivory Tower kind of fills that life drain back up. The creature on the left side has an ability where when I deal combat damage to my opponent, I draw a card. As my opponent attempting to kill Teferi, but I activate the One Ring to draw cards and put him out of range of the creature attacking him. Slowly building up to that, 13 cards in my hand. A bunch of mana, a bunch of counters in my hand. It looks like I'm losing on board because my opponent has more creatures, more life. But I am actually the one that's doing a lot better in this game. Because I have the combo kill set up. I really just have to make sure to not do anything dumb and die. So yeah. And then I want to talk about the social aspect for a little bit, as that's the timer that I was mentioning earlier, so you can go fully infinite. I started playing this game when I was like 12 years old. I learned from some of my friends in the scouting. I was in Boy Scouts when I was younger, and I learned there. So it really became a really good social function for me. I made new friends in Scouts, and we could play together. And so they taught me how to play the game. I bought my own decks. I made my own decks. And we would just all have fun together. Just playing Magic. Hanging out on outings. We played Magic every outing for pretty much the entire outing when we weren't actively doing something. I'd say we spent upwards of probably 2 hours on every outing, of which outings are once a month, so that math is a lot of Magic. I probably ended up spending anywhere from, I'd say, $400 to $500 just on this game alone, on paper, not on online. No, I don't spend money on online games usually. But it just allowed me to have really good social interaction with people my age, because they were all super nice to me. They taught me how to play. They even gave me one of their decks when I couldn't afford any of my own.
Feisty dance partner.
As it's now my turn, I'm going to win the game because of the combo I mentioned earlier, and that's a dub. So yeah, we'll see you next time. Thank you.